The first thing to note about your enemy is that he is actually an intelligent being. I want to read Matthew 12:43 and 45 and break it down as I read. So in this scripture, Jesus is describing to his disciples what happens to a spirit after it is casted out of a man. It says, when an unclean spirit goes out of a man, he goes through dry places seeking rest and finds none, right? So what do we know about the spirit at first? First of all, he obviously can walk, right? It goes through dry places seeking rest, meaning that he is seeking somebody else to inhabit and finds none. It says, then he says, I will return to my house from which I came. So what do we see here in the scriptures? He's speaking to himself, meaning that he is reasoning, the spirit is reasoning within himself, saying, I will return to my house from which I came, or in other words, the person in which he was formerly inhabited in, right? So we see here that this entity is illogical. It can think. And when he comes, he finds it empty, swept, and put in order, right? So the spirit is coming back and revisiting the person in which it was formerly in, okay? It says in verse 45, then he goes and takes with him 7 other spirits more wicked than himself. That is strategy. So he's trying to get back in and ensure that it is going to be almost impossible to regain your freedom once he is able to get back in. That is logic. That is strategy. That is intelligence.